Matter of fact, we need to get both of us looking at the camera as well too, so I can get a thumbnail shot. Okay. You know how long it takes me to search for all of us to look at the camera at the same time? That's a tough one. Welcome to the Top Shelf Grumbling Podcast with Dan the Don Walls. This episode is brought to you by our sponsors: Lawn Hub for all your lawn care needs, Price Cutter, the best meat in town, Hale State, Russell Motors, go see Austin, he's got what you need, Butcher Block Restaurant, voted Best Biscuit and Best Breakfast 2025. Available wherever you get your podcasts, coming to you from the Wilder Fitness Studio. Presenting a Where You Media production, this is Top Shelf Grumbling. All right, guys, we're back here at the Top Shelf Grumbling podcast. This is our Monday night show. We're going to bring you a little recap of the football season leading up to the Sugar Bowl and the Fiesta Bowl. Give us a little Fiesta Bowl recap as well.
We're going to talk a little bit about everything.
A little bit about everything. We'll start that off. Maybe talk about a little baseball as well, too, and get into maybe some portal action that's been happening even today.
And we're going to have probably not next week, probably this coming Thursday, we're going to kind of look at SEC men's and women's basketball. Probably that next week we're going to probably do. We're still 30. I think I saw a date. It's 31 days. We're still 31 days away from baseball, so we're going to probably do that. Not just coming Thursday, but the next.
We'll get that one going.
We're going to transition into some basketball too a little bit before that.
Coach Yo's transitioning basketball right now.
Yes, she is.
They're transition. They're making layups, making 3-pointers, making all kind of stuff.
Got a Final Four caliber team, in my opinion.
Agreed.
But let's get started here with some. I guess we could announce the kill of the week first.
Yeah, we count kill of the week.
Kill of the week. Timmy Tudor and his grandson Colin. This was a tight one, folks. They narrowed out Taylor Hawkins' daughter by like. I think it was two. I think I looked a while ago. It was 260 something and 240 something.
That's a good showing.
And now we had like probably 600 or 700 votes total, if not more than that. We had 8 people this week, and there was some. I mean, there was a bunch of people voting, and I keep sending them in. I know deer season is kind of coming to an end. We still got a lot of deer still to be done.
You don't get that many votes in the alderman race.
Absolutely not. That'll win you alderman. That'll win you alderman in a landslide.
Absolutely.
But talking about the Rebel football season,
historic.
What a great season. You know, where to begin? You know, Trinidad kind of came in after really the Kentucky game.
Yeah.
What game was it? Austin got hurt in.
I believe it was in the Kentucky game when he came, because he came.
That's right. He came at the end and had to run the clock out.
I want to go back to thinking about a huge stop in the Arkansas game and forced a fumble that completely changed the trajectory of the entire year. That play right there,
and Arkansas's entire year, I believe.
And Arkansas as well too. That was an inflection point to send the Rebels where they were going, and Arkansas, unfortunately, where they were going as well too. That was big. Trinidad, like I said, showed up. Nobody really knew what was going on. He had played a lot of football, though. He'd played championship caliber football. Even, and Pete Golding has said this over and over again, football is football at every level. You got to be able to compete, and you got to be able to, know what you're doing. And hopefully we'll hear back.
And I remember saying, his stats were very impressive at Ferris State. I remember somebody was like, who played at Ferris State? I said, I don't give a dang where you play that. I mean, those are the stats are impressive, no matter if you're playing against Pee Wee football.
And Ferris State is known to be a powerhouse in that, in that conference as well too. They've won lots of national championships. But maybe we'll get a word back, in a few weeks here on the
I'm kind
lawsuit.
of touching on that too. Yeah. I believe it's if Trinidad don't go pro, I firmly believe he'll be our starting quarterback next year. I mean, I think this injunction is kind of a formality, I believe.
Yeah.
We're
looking at maybe $5 million versus 1 to 2 not guaranteed per year. Looking at maybe $6 million on a rookie contract outside the third round, and you're not even guaranteeing that money. Even then, you could fizzle out. You could not make the team. If you're 4th or 5th round, you could miss the team, and you'd get your signing bonus, and that'd be it. So he's missing out on maybe $2 or $3 million. Unless he gets,
least.
I don't know what his grade is, and I doubt he's going to be a first-round grade.
Now, he has gone up the bowl. I think I saw before our last game against Miami, he was like the 4th or 5th quarterback, which he hadn't even been listed.
They don't spend big money on 6-foot quarterbacks, though.
No.
It just doesn't happen. So
I would take not the free money, but the guaranteed money at Ole Miss, and then try to go.
Yeah,
that's what I would probably do if I were him. But
you could make your case that you could be that transcendent athlete that just it doesn't matter how tall you are. You do it another season in the SEC.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I think that
be a first round pick.
There's a lot of he played one season here, but I think that could help him if he does get to come back.
And look, he got better and better and better and better as the year went on.
Yeah.
Like from him, the last couple of games, last 3 or 4 games versus the first 3 or 4 was.
Yeah.
And he had his moments in the first. That's why he won the job over. But
absolutely,
he got better and better as the year went on. And he'll be better next year if he comes back. And I think if he'll be back.
Ultimately, coming back to Ole Miss too, everybody's like, "Oh, you could have gone. Even if you got this last year, you could have gone to LSU. You had the same offensive coordinator, the same scheme." But at the same time, if you go back and look at his press conference, he said, "I'm going to go where I feel most comfortable." And obviously, that was with a new staff that basically runs, pretty much the same stuff. And this point,
all these hurry up offenses, they're not very sophisticated.
Yeah,
they're not very sophisticated offenses.
And also, he's 24. He'll be 24 years old. He's probably in there, going over the game plan with them. Saying, "Hey, I like this, and I can do this good," and helping out with that, not just being a student of the game as well too, but kind of a miniature coach at that point.
But to me, we'll come back kind of to the season here in a minute. Let's talk about the Fiesta Bowl part for a second. The SEC really may be a little bit down, and if it is, it's not because all of a sudden everybody else can pay players.
No.
I mean, that's just that argument to me is just preposterous.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that
everybody's always paid. Oh, you telling me Michigan, Ohio State? Yeah. They just now started paying players. I mean, come on, give me a break.
No, but Signetti's team shows you that it's not just bringing a bunch of players together and playing great. You got to have that team chemistry, that bond, that continuity, and that it's not just about how much money you got. Is the right fit for these people? Are they trying to all pull the rope in the same direction? To quote Houston Nutt. But yeah, no, it's a different landscape out there. The Fiesta Bowl showed just how far that Ole Miss was competing with Miami's. I mean, that defense was.
It took us a quarter to a quarter and a half to get adjusted to their physicality, or whatever you want to talk about, or whatever you want to call it. But we did.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we settled down, and that's another thing about Pete Golden teams. His team so far and his defense as defensive coordinator at Ole Miss so far, he always makes good second half adjustments.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Lacey getting dinged up didn't help either.
Yeah.
But now they had some injuries down the stretch too, so I'm not going to harp too much on that because they kind of had some injuries themselves.
They had the guy that got knocked out for targeting as well too. They lost some players too. But like I said, I tip your cap to them. They kept it a physical game, and I think. I don't think they were expecting us to play like we did against them as well too. And like we've kind of joked around, maybe that was the best thing that could have happened to the Ole Miss Rebels this season is to fight their way and almost make it there instead of going to get stomped against.
I know.
Indiana. I don't know if we would, and they haven't really seen an offense like us either. But
one thing about these Big Ten teams, and these teams that have caught other conferences that have caught up with the SEC. What the SEC's the difference to me was the speed.
Yeah.
We used to call them the slow 10, slow 10, because they were so. I mean, and everybody went and gotten speed. Now, I mean that to me that's the big difference. Not everybody can pay players now. If they realize, hey, we can't stack our teams like this is the mid 80s anymore. We got to open this thing up a little bit.
It just took him a while to. I mean, it even took Nick Saban time to get on board with these new offenses.
Absolutely, he had a year or two there. He was kind of
Yeah, I mean, they still wanted to just line up. Some folks, they still had 2 fullbacks on scholarship. They were not playing defense, and it's so funny too because the Big 12, you always heard about no defense. So they had these high flying offenses and no defenses. The Big 10 just lined up and running at each other. For
17-7.
Yeah, a lot of those games.
My opinion is our defense had its moments this year, but our defense was we were a C+ defense this year.
I think we hodgepodged together, and I think that may have had something to do
smoke and mirrors. I think Pete did a good job coaching them, but you see in this portal, we ought to that defense next year ought to be a unit.
Yeah, and we spent the other direction on offense last year, and we've kept a couple of those pieces, and some of them that have gone on, which we probably wanted them to. But
like wide receivers, to me, if you spend a bunch of money on wide receivers, unless it's somebody like Randy Moss, like you're an idiot. I mean, wide receivers are a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
Go get the trench guys, and then you can fill the rest in pretty easily with as much money as we've got.
And I think, Kiffin's idea was to do the exact opposite. Weapons everywhere. The offensive, defensive line be damned. We'll go score 60
Well,
points.
now he did after Georgia beat us that bad that year. He did finally start.
Yeah, realize we
got to do this.
But you saw we didn't go in the portal last year and get it, to replace all those. I mean, there was 5 defensive linemen that went in the NFL last year.
Yep.
It was kind of impossible to do that. But a little more from the Fiesta Bowl too. Like you said, Lacey being banged up really hurt the run game in the second half. We didn't have that 1-2 punch and kind of had to put it on Trinidad's shoulders. And we kind of ran out of magic, I think is what it was.
Well, we scored there at the end with 2 minutes and like 50 seconds left.
Yeah.
And this is kind of what I was alluding to with our C+ defense. We just couldn't get that stop. All we had to do was get a stop. We win the ball game. And
that was it. That's all we needed.
It could have gone either. It could have went either way. And I was kind of wrong on this game. Ole Miss didn't play that good, and it could have finally. The assistants going back and forth could have finally. Reared its ugly head. Joe Judge said something about it earlier in the week about being chaotic and compare it to Aaron Hernandez, but I don't really think it had much to do with it either. I don't either.
When the lights come on, they're just playing ball.
Absolutely. And one thing, we would have been in the CFP 5 times since 2014. Yeah. And you get all these LSU fans and other idiots saying, "Oh well, Ole Miss is back to mediocrity." There goes. When people going to wake up? We have a top NIL. We've got Walker Jones. We've got Keith Carter.
People are all screaming that from mediocrity. They're down there at mediocrity screaming,
saying we're going to be at mediocrity.
Yeah, exactly. Come back down here.
That's what it is. They can't. Well, for years it was like this. Well, it's not like that anymore.
It is not.
It's just
it is not.
Get mad all you want to. Let's see. Pete Golden has put and to me the most exciting thing about all this, we were a Final Four team this year, and I'm not trying to be the delusional fan. Wait till next year. Well, to me, what's so exciting is all the recruiting staff, recruiting son of a guns that Pete Golden has put together is awesome. We've got just about everybody back that we wanted back. We did have a couple get in the portal today that we wanted, but just because they're in the portal don't mean they're leaving either.
Yeah,
people have to realize, oh my God, the sky's falling. We lost
I've jokingly said, wait till September and start cheering for the guys that are on the team.
See who runs out the tunnel.
And you'll figure out actually who's going to be here. That's there's recruiting news is great and all, but it's not like.
Well, see, one thing I used to tell people in recruiting was it's a lot different now. But if you can't handle people being committed to you, taking other visits, people being committed to you, decommitting, then you can't. Recruiting is not for the faint of heart. It's not for the weak. If you can't handle it, it, don't follow it because it's not gonna. You're not going to get every player. You're not going to keep every player.
And I think it's kind of parallels the volatility of the stock market. You're not going to get any gains if you're just over there getting a bunch of guys that. I hate to say this, but
he's not going to leave.
He loves Ole Miss. He's like, all right, well, can he tackle? Can he catch? Can he run? All those things are important as well too. And all these things that we're dealing with as Ole Miss people right now. These other folks that have been fighting for 5 stars here and there, they've been fighting each other for those 5 stars all year long. They just been running a business as well too. So kind of a business mindset. Whoever wants to be here at the end of the day, that we're going to trust the coaches to get enough folks here to make a team up. But especially now, I think we got a lot of momentum, which helped. Being in the Final Four, and we'll be a top 3 team.
And see, that's one thing. We'll be top 3 team going into next year, maybe even higher than that. Texas will probably be number 1, but. Look, this team improved all year. They were resilient as hell. All the BS they had to put up with throughout the season, they didn't let it bother them.
No.
And the core of this team's coming back. I couldn't be more excited about the future of Ole Miss football. Ole Miss sports in general. Look over the past 3 or 4 years, we've won a national championship in baseball.
Yeah.
We've been to the Sweet 16 in basketball. We've been in the Final Four in football. That's not the Keith Carter. Tip your cap to Keith Carter.
The men's golf won the national championship.
We didn't win. We got second or third on the team, but we had a individual winner.
Yeah, well, the women's won. Was it 2-3 years ago? The women's
2 or 3 years ago. I forgot about that. Yeah.
No, we've had lots of championships for sure. I do want to give one shout out to Diego Pounds for playing that heck of a game. I know some of the offensive line play was not very good, and that was hard. But man, he took on Reuben Bain a few times. That was very, very impressive for what he was supposed to be. And he's going to be a pretty good player on Sunday as well.
Absolutely, too. Another thing too, the retention that we have had so far. Knock on wood. We've had our old coach coming after him among a bunch of other SEC schools trying to raid this roster, and for the most part, 99% of it, we have held most of that off. Yeah.
People are like, "Oh, this defensive guy." I'm like, y'all watch the defense. We needed to replace some of these guys. It wasn't like it was.
Some of these guys need to be replaced.
And I think that's a good thing. You go have an honest conversation with them and say, "Hey, you're going to be a rotational piece next year. You're not a starter anymore, or whatever it is. If you want to get in the portal, the time is now because we're going to go try to find some people, that are going to improve us or whatever." I mean, I think this is the point where they're having those conversations.
Absolutely. You got anything to add before the season?
No, I think that was 2025 was great. We started the podcast,
beginning of this season.
So I think we've done a good job as well too.
Absolutely,
our offensive line has gelled a little bit.
Got another huge shout out to David Johnson, OleMiss365.com. Head over there for all your latest portal intel. It's popping right now.
Yeah.
Members are starting to come in there, and the message boards are starting to heat it. Which I don't get on the message board as much as I used to, but the people he's got on there writing articles and all that stuff is just
for way less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks right now.
Yeah, $4.99 a month.
You can be a part of that as well too.
Speaking of article, I've got another article I'm going to have coming out. Well, probably the end of this week. Just kind of.
We'll have that published on the Facebook page.
Published, yes. Let's see. We talked about the kill of the week.
Yeah.
The bowl pick'em. We'll wait and talk about that on Thursday. And the overall pick'em too.
Have everybody else up in here.
Let's see. We got the Ole Miss and women's hoop. Ole Miss men's and women's.
Yeah.
Hoops.
Scrappy win from the boys over there in Missouri.
The Missouri's that's a good win. They were 12 or 13-3, they were almost voted in the top 25 last week. They just beat Kentucky and Florida.
Very scrappy team.
We
actually shot the ball.
The tournament team. The last 2 or 3 games, Ole Miss has shot the ball. I won't say good, or they shot it okay. They shot it way, way better. And I think maybe the light has come on with a couple of these guys. Clafky, Eduardo Clafky,
Dia had a pretty good game too. He made some good plays.
Beard's been high on Clafky this whole time, and I've been, cautiously optimistic because I'm a big Beard believer. He's the best coach we've ever had at Ole Miss by far. He's got like 15 NCAA tournament wins. We've got like 6 as a school total. He knows what he's doing. He's going to get this turned around, whether it's this year or next year. I feel firmly comfortable in that.
Yeah.
And I still think now that we may have a chance to still get things turned around this year. We got a stretch coming up with some winnable games and some big games that will
gotta get some confidence.
Confident. I think we got some confidence going.
Yeah.
I think that Arkansas game gave us some confidence.
Yeah.
Because they're a really, really good team. We almost stole that one.
Yeah, we played them very well.
Like I said, we're going to do a little SEC, a little preview show. Since football is kind of winding down, we're going to do a little preview show on basketball this coming Thursday. But the next 2 games we got at Georgia. They're nationally ranked 18th or 19th. And then we have
Go see Michael White.
We have State at home, I think, Saturday. Or maybe it's on the road, I'm not sure. Need to win both those games. If we can somehow win both those games, we might have something. Win one of them, we might still have something. Back to the women. By the way, I expected the women to be like 14th or 15th this week.
Coach Joe was pretty hot about that on
I mean, my God.
Yeah.
We beat Georgia our first game by like 20 points. We lost by 2 or 3 at number 2, Texas.
Yeah.
We won by 5 at number 4, Oklahoma. And we just stomped State Saturday. And you move up 2 spots?
Yeah.
I mean, give me a break.
Yeah.
Coach O's built this thing up a bit better and better and better. She's finally got it back to where Van Chancellor had it. We've been to like 20 Sweet 16 as a program. Like, people forget Ole Miss has some good women's basketball tradition.
Mm-hmm.
Van Chancellor, he won national champion. He won big at Ole Miss. He never did win the championship at Ole Miss, but he got close. He did win one at LSU, and he won several with the I think it was the LA Sparks, WNBA. Can't remember if it was the Sparks or not. But
I think it was LA Sparks, yeah.
But Coach O's built a consistent winner. It's time to take that next step. To me, I think, like I said, we got a Final Four caliber team here. They play tough. They're gritty. I'm ready to see what they do the rest of the year. They got kind of odd. The men and women. We both play at Georgia. They play there Sunday. We play there Saturday. That's our next game.
Old high school games where the girls would play first, and the boys JV play first, and then the girls play, and then the boys, everybody playing everybody.
Well, like I said, we're going to do a little more of a little deep dive into some basketball.
Yeah, we got some more stuff coming in the works too.
Maybe
a live show somewhere. We're not sure yet.
Too early to tell.
But we thank you guys for listening to us. If you got anything else for us?
I do have one more. Do a little talk about little NFL playoffs. This is going to be a little short. We got to. I said before the playoffs started, this is going to be the best year of NFL. One of the best years of NFL playoffs in a long time. Yeah. 8 teams had a legit shot. I mean, an actual legit shot of winning it before it started. I mean, the Rams and the Panthers. The Rams were like 10-point favorites. That game came down to the wire.
I can't believe all the wild card game was wild, and I mean all the games were. That's usually not like that. There's usually some stomps in there somewhere, but they were all good football games.
The Bears and the Packers, that was an instant classic. The Bears were down 21-3. Caleb Williams keeps making a believer out of people.
Boy, howdy.
Painting his fingernails and all. But anyway, then the Bills and the Jags was another instant classic. The Bills pulled that out at the end.
Yeah.
49ers and the Eagles, that was an upset. The 49ers were 8-point underdogs. 7-point underdogs.
That was people forget that he was a highly touted quarterback coming out of.
See, I didn't know that. Until I read
slightly
it.
Ahead of one Joe Burrow, I believe, in the rankings.
He put it right on the money too. He was like right over the shoulder to him.
Fading over that right shoulder.
And last night, the Patriots, I'm not really going to call that a blowout, but the Patriots kind of dominated that game. It was 16-3 or something like that.
They pretty much dominated it.
The second half, especially. First half, it was like 3-3 at halftime.
Yeah.
We got one more. We got one more tonight, folks.
Absolutely.
We have the Steelers and the Texans, which will be
that Texans defensive line, baby.
I have a teaser pending. I have a teaser plus 13 for the Steelers. And that's the only game left in that teaser, so I'm going to ride that out. Been doing some pretty decent gambling here lately.
Yeah.
Besides the Ole Miss game.
Yeah.
And I post those on Twitter and Facebook most of the time. All my silly gambling bets.
Nice.
I really don't have anything else right now, do you?
I don't believe so. I believe we'll call it here, and we'll get you back on Thursday. But thank y'all for listening tonight. Thank you to David Johnson, Ole Miss 365,
Howdy,
for hosting this podcast. You can get it anywhere on YouTube, Spotify. You go like and subscribe. We're trying to get our subscriber count up to 100. We're at 65 or 66.
66, I believe. I ain't looked in a couple of days.
20 YouTube followers. We got about 600 on Facebook. So y'all go give us on all platforms. Give us a thumbs up and a like. All right, y'all have a good night.
Thank you, Howdy Toddy. Go to hell, LSU.
This has been a Where You Media production. You can find us anywhere you get your podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave us a comment. What's your sentiment?